Welcome students in our next lecture that deals with Krebs cycle, or it is also called as a TCA cycle. It is also called as a citric acid cycle. This method was discovered by Krebs, Hans Krebs. That's why the name is given, that is a Krebs cycle. This is a next step to the glycolysis. As we had discussed earlier that glucose is a 6-carbon compound and that will be undergo certain type of reaction, and lastly it is converted into pyruvic acid. This is a 3-carbon compound. But this pyruvic acid is not directly taken for the Krebs cycle. So it undergoes some reactions and it is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. As you know, glycolysis is done in cytoplasm, and this pyruvic acid, which is a last product of glycolysis, it undergo decarboxylation reaction because pyruvic acid, it is a 3-carbon compound, and this acetyl coenzyme A, it is a 2-carbon compound. So there is a loss of 1 carbon atom in form of carbon dioxide. In this reaction, as we know, it is an oxidation, or we can say it is a decarboxylation reaction. One NAD, it will take 2 hydrogens and it is converted into NADH plus H plus molecule. In this reaction, coenzyme A, it is added and it is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. It is also called as a acetylation of pyruvic acid. So this is the first step. Pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Now this acetyl coenzyme A is shipped towards the mitochondria and it undergo further cycle of reaction which we called as a Krebs cycle. Now this acetyl coenzyme A, which is a 2-carbon compound, it contains with oxaloacetate, or we can say it is oxaloacetic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound. Without this oxaloacetic acid, this acetyl coenzyme A, it will not take part in this Krebs cycle. So these two compounds, acetyl coenzyme A and oxaloacetate, they condense together and form the citrate or citric acid. So this is the first 6-carbon compound, or we can say it is the first stable compound in the chain reaction. That's why it is also called as a citric acid cycle. One more thing you should keep in your mind, that this citric acid or citrate, it contains 3 carboxylic group. That's why it is also called as a tricarboxylic acid cycle. Okay. So this citrate, the 6-carbon compound, it undergoes the further reaction in presence of aconitase enzyme and it will form cis-acotinase. It is an intermediate compound. It is an intermediate compound. Now this cis-acotinase, which is a 6-carbon compound, it undergo further reaction in presence of aconitase enzyme or in presence of iron minerals, and it will form into isocitrate. Now this isocitrate again is a 6-carbon compound. Now this isocitrate, it will undergo dehydrogenase reaction in presence of isocitrate dehydrogenase. In this reaction again, one NAD molecule, it will take an 2H2, that is NADH plus H plus is formed. It is also called as an oxidation reaction and it will form as a oxalosuccinate. Now this oxalosuccinate undergo decarboxylation and it is associated with the dehydrogenase, or it is associated with the dehydrogenation reaction. So in presence of isocitrate dehydrogenase, this oxalosuccinate, now it is converted into alpha ketoglutarate. This alpha ketoglutarate is a 5 carbon compound. As we know, isocitrate is a 6 carbon compound and this undergo decarboxylation. So there is a loss of 1 CO2 and we are having the alpha ketoglutarate, which is a 5 carbon compound. Now this alpha ketoglutarate, again it will undergo decarboxylation reaction associated with the dehydrogenation in presence of enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. So in this reaction, there is again oxidation. NAD, it will take 2H2 and it is converted into NADH plus H plus. At the same time, coenzyme A or CoA group that will be attached to the compound and we are having the succinyl CoA. Now, as we had discussed, there is a decarboxylation. One more CO2 is detached or it will given out in this reaction. So it is a decarboxylation. So alpha ketoglutarate, which is a 5 carbon compound, and there is a loss of 1 carbon dioxide. So succinyl CoA, it is having the 4 carbon compound. As we had discussed that this acetyl coenzyme A, which is a 2 carbon compound, and now both these carbons, they are oxidized into carbon dioxide. 1 carbon dioxide is given here from isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate, and from alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl CoA, the another carbon dioxide is given out. So both these two carbons, they are oxidized. So in one way, the Krebs cycle that will be complete here. Okay, but as we know, we had taken the 4 carbon from oxaloacetate. We have to give back that 4 carbon atom. So further step we have to follow up to the oxaloacetate molecule. Then this succinyl CoA, which is a 4 carbon compound, under the influence of succinate thiokinase, this is an enzyme, it is converted into succinate, that is a 4 carbon compound. Now one thing keep in your mind that this succinyl CoA, which is a 4 carbon compound, and lastly we will require this oxaloacetate, again it is a 4 carbon compound. So during these stages we don't have to lose any carbon atom. So there will be no decarboxylation or loss of carbon during these stages. Succinyl CoA, when converted into succinate, it is a highly exothermic reaction. So we can generate 1 ATP. Now we will have ADP, but there is no PO4 group, but as it is a highly exothermic reaction, this ADP, it is converted into ATP molecule. So you can say this is a substrate level phosphorylation. So in some exams, competitive exams, it is asked that which step in the Krebs cycle, it is known as a substrate level phosphorylation. So conversion of succinyl CoA into the succinate, that is the substrate level phosphorylation step. So here we can generate one more ATP in this reaction. Again, the coenzyme A group, which is attached here in succinyl CoA, that will be detached and it is converted into succinate. Now this succinate, it undergoes dehydrogenation in presence of succinate dehydrogenase, and that hydrogens which is given out, actually it is a oxidation. So these two hydrogens that will be taken out by this FAD and it is converted into FADH2 molecules, and this succinate, it is converted into fumarate. Again it is a 4 carbon compound. Now this fumarate, it undergo again dehydrogenation, and in presence of fumarate, this fumarate, which is a 4-carbon compound, it is converted into malate. And lastly, this malate, under the influence of enzyme malate dehydrogenase, it undergo oxidation, given out two hydrogens, which is picked up by NAD into NADH plus H plus. So as we had discussed here, throughout the reaction, there is a no direct oxidation of carbon molecule. Means in each and every step, when you observe, there is no oxygen which is directly involved in oxidation process. Okay, now we will see how much NADH, FADH and ATP molecules which are generated throughout the reaction. Now we will account for the ATPs which are generated throughout the cycle. As we know, there is only one ATP which is directly generated from the Krebs cycle, which we have written here, that one ATP which is generated in the reaction succinyl-CoA to succinate. Now if you observe the cycle, then we came to know that there is 3 NADH molecules which are formed during the reaction. Means reductive coenzymes like NAD or FAD, which is formed or which is utilized throughout the reaction, that 3 NAD, they are converted into NADH plus H plus. And as we know, one NADH, it will undergo reduction, then it will give you 9 ATPs. Now, one FADH2 is generated throughout the reaction and it will give you 2 ATPs. So, in account of one Krebs cycle, we are generated 3 NADH plus H plus, 1 FADH2 and 1 ATP directly. So, in conversion, there are 12 ATPs, they are generated from the reaction. Now, the first step before the Krebs cycle, which we had discussed, that is from conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA, there is one molecule of NAD, it is converted into NADH plus H plus. So it will also give you the 3 ATPs. So 12 plus 3, it will give you the 15 ATP. But as we know that one glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound, it will give you the 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, or which can say pyruvate. So each pyruvate, if it generates the 15 ATPs, then 2 molecules of pyruvate introduced in Krebs cycle, it will give you 15 into 2, that is a 30 ATP molecules. One thing you keep in your mind, that throughout the glycolysis, means conversion of glucose to pyruvic acid, there is a generation of 8 ATP. So 30 plus 8, it will give you 38 ATP molecules. But one thing you keep in your mind, that for this generation of 38 ATP molecules, the process must be aerobic, because in anaerobic condition, means in absence of oxygen, we cannot generate these 38 ATP molecules, because in absence of oxygen, the Krebs cycle, it does not undergo the series of reactions.